going on, Jeromes? So we always remind you, the Jeromes, that no matter how much you dislike the national media jabroni haircuts, it's not enough. Because sometimes they just love to hate on the Vikings because it's something that's gotten them brownie points in years past, and it's so easy to do. And the thumb is always down on the scale, pushing up against the Vikings, and always never giving them credit, always denigrating them, always just putting them down. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Now, occasionally point out where their malfeasance is over the line. And also, Tom, Dick, and Harry, Joe 12-pack, I mean, they generally do get their information still from these mainstream outlets. So how the Vikings are portrayed, it does sway the opinion of the casuals, the non-Vikings fans, just the general football fans around the country. So that does matter, right? Long story longer, ESPN analytics savant, maven, whatever, Seth Walder, who we've talked about Walder before. Obviously, the numbers don't like the Vikings. It's okay. Yeah, but sometimes numbers lie. 2024 NFL season sim prediction surprises and playoff teams. Do they just fire up Madden and just simulate the season? Is that what happens? Because I feel like I should just start analytics, right? Because I don't have to explain myself. I'll just say that the formula is proprietary. And of course, who's going to question my math? So, the Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl this year because they have 12.6 Smarkle, leading the league. That's it. But yeah, so they ran a prediction sim, and the Vikings. Again, the Vikings could have a tough season. It is what it is. But the defense is going to be legit. You got Justin friggin' Jefferson. Darnold hopefully can be average to slightly above average, and you're going to be good to go. You will be. But slip and fall and they can't get up, just falling down the ass, nah, I don't see that. Because if you think about it, like last year, the Vikings had Armageddon happen with all the injuries essentially, and 4 different starting quarterbacks, and they still went 7-10. And frankly, given the closeness of a fistful of those games, they easily could have gone 11-6. No must have fuss. Anyways, but the Vikings stumbled to the number 1 overall pick. There was hope back in the halcyon days of September that quarterback Sam Darnold would finally figure it out after spending the 2023 season with Hamilton before playing in Kevin O'Connell's scheme in 2024. How naive we were. Darnold did not, in fact, figure it out. The Minnesota Vikings offense crumbled, whilst the rest of the league came up with adjustments to defensive coordinator Brian Flores' relentless blitzes. Okay. Sure. The result, a paltry 4-win season, but with the losing came hope in the form of the number 1 overall pick. With their quarterback already in hand, J.J. McCarthy is the quarterback of the future here, despite his right meniscus tear. I don't get it. Like they always talk about McCarthy's knee injury like this isn't completely routine. They're talking about like he lost a leg in Antietam. They had to amputate, battlefield amputation. Oh, will Captain McCarthy ever recover? Oh, by God. It's ridiculous, man. The Vikings entered the season in position to deal the number 1 pick to a quarterback-needy team for a series of selections that will bolster the roster for an immediate turnaround. The present is bleak in Minnesota, but the future is bright. Okay. The Washington Commanders, who also won't be in the quarterback market, have the number 2 pick. The Carolina Panthers might be ready to move on from quarterback Bryce Young after finishing 5-12, have the number 3 selection, and a contender trade up to the number 1 spot. So it's a bad beat for the Vikings because 2025, as of right now, still a lot of football to play, obviously. Like, it isn't shaping up to be a tier 1 quarterback draft like the 2024 class, but it's ridiculous, man. Although I do like that Walder didn't go all Shooter Walters here. It's like, if the Vikings end up with a high pick, they can move on from McCarthy. Clown fart noises. That's it, man. But here's what the simulation, which I still think was basically just Madden sim. So the Vikings end up 4-13 with the number 1 overall pick. Walder mentioned the Commies would go 5-12, as well as the Panthers would go 5-12, but they end up with a 3 spot. Titans also end up 5-12. Same thing with the Patriots, but through various tiebreakers, they obviously finish 4 or 5 or some order of that. The Jets win the division. Whatever. The Bills go 7-10. I actually do think that the Bills could take a step back, and a pretty large one, because not just Diggs. I mean, Gabe Davis, as well as they really had to churn and burn in that defensive side of the ball. Bengals, Ravens up top in the AFC North. Browns 6-11. Did they just give up? Well, they can't really just give up on Deshaun because they just restructured his contract. Yikes. Texans win the division at 10-7 again. Jaguars up there as well. The Chiefs run away with the West again. Shocker. In the NFC East, the Eagles, they make a late charge and they hold off the Cowboys. The Giants suck. Good. Lions go 13-4. Whatever. Just look at the NFC North. Hey, sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and the Vikings. I was like, Lions 13 wins, Packers 11 wins, Bears 10 wins, make the playoffs. The Vikings 4. Okay. Buccaneers win the division for the 4th straight season. Hey, what about Kirk Cousins and the Falcons and all that hype? They go 6-11. Oh, what happened? Niners somehow slog it out to 10-7. Interesting. Ooh, Cardinals surprise. Do a little bit better than people think. Yeah. And then the playoffs. Who cares? Chiefs and Lions in the Super Bowl. And then the Lions beat the Chiefs. Again, just so magical. Like PFF bold predictions. Oh, the Lions win the Super Bowl. Oh, and the math. The math is math in here. Just magically the Lions win the Super Bowl again. Okay, but like we said, no matter how much you dislike the national media, it's not enough. It's not enough. We'll just jot this one down yet again. Hey, Vikings end up with number 1 overall pick. Baloney. We could probably pick up a pretty badass edge rusher though. Or I don't know. Is Mason Graham gonna end up 1? It's possible. Who knows, man? Who knows? But your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN analytics. Oh, the numbers say that the Vikings will end up with the number 1 overall pick, the worst record in football. Baloney. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, their thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.